What's up, everybody? I think we are live now. Looks like YouTube's trying to get me there. There we go. Sorry, I trolled some of you on Twitter by posting early, but I'm here. I'm alive. Thank you guys for being here. I see Butters in the chat. I see Sean. Thank you guys already for being here. Today we are here to talk just for a little bit, a little bit of a live stream because I wanted to throw my hat into the ring, talk about the proposal. I think it's super interesting. And as you guys come in, though, we'll get there. But I do, of course, always want to shout out Zen Sports and also open up my season rewards so that we can have more people trickle in as we get this discussion started. But thank you to Zen Sports for sponsoring, great streamers like me and doing some great NFT collections. Zen Sports, yeah. So if you guys haven't checked out Zen Sports before, they're doing lots of tournaments and stuff within the NFT gaming community. So go check out their stuff. Show them some love. What up, Jacob? I got to meet Jacob at NFT NYC. Cool dude, cool dude. All right, I don't know what I'm talking about. My mind is all crazy right now. But yeah, if you're watching this post stream, just know we'll get to the SPS proposal. You'll be able to skip ahead if you'd like. But first, we got to open up our chest. I haven't opened my chest today, and this is with the new SPS reward. So I'm thinking we'll get like 1,000 SPS here, right? This is exciting. I only got like 54 or 55 gold chests, so it's not that many because there was some days I didn't play, yada yada. I played in silver for a bit. Birds, bees, and trees, what's up, DJ? What's up, Butters? All right, 1,000 SPS. Oh, Pockets in the house, Peachy in the house as well. Starting off with a hot 0.5 SPS, 0.3 SPS. It seems like I've been averaging kind of more close to this. My biggest SPS drop was 13 SPS, but I've heard of other people getting like, even in gold, like 60, or someone said they got like 100 plus or something. I can't remember, but it was a lot. All right, no big SPS yet, no gold. Got more merit, so we can open up another guild pack. I don't know, a lot of people don't like the merits, but I'm like, dude, I'm playing in a guild and I'm having a hard time leveling up guild cards, so I don't mind the merits actually. Prefer them to potions at least. Oh boy, okay. There we go, finally, a 1.8 SPS. I also love how there's 3 digits, literally 1.881, just very specific. So what is that? Maybe like 4 SPS so far? Jeez, come on. Big numbers, big Bohemian Rhapsody numbers. What is all these? No, where is anything above 1 SPS? Where's my Gargoyle Alliance today? Okay, at least get an epic there. This is trash. 64 merits. Come on, big money, big money, big money. Dude, are these going to be my worst rewards of all time? In gold? 10! Finally! Finally, we at least hit a double digit. My goodness. I was getting worried we'd never see the light of day. Okay, well, that makes me a little bit happy at least. Another 0.5er. There's just so many SPS in these things, dude. Like, the number of times I'm getting SPS, not like the amounts. Alright. Well, I guess I'm going to have to move up into diamond. That's the most merits I've ever seen in gold, so that's happy. That's almost half a pack right there. 960 merits. Let's go. Let's go. 3 SPS. Okay, that's respectable. 3.4. That's even more respectable, baby. What are we at? Like 20 SPS now? I bet you someone's going to come into this chat and be like, bro, your entire rewards are 20 SPS. Guess what? I got 200 SPS in one chest. Who's going to be the one? Oh, a legendary though. Gold foil. Oh, no, but it's another Jared Scar. I think that's my second Jared Scars I'll take that. I'll take that. Okay, baby. That makes me happy. V Empire Bat, the Venari Heatsmith. I've been giving those away, so, I need to recoup my Venari Heatsmiths. Bloodmaker, Bandit. All right, what's good? Last 4. Come on. We need 1 gold foil, and we need 1 gold foil. We have not gotten a single GF. So we need 1 gold foil, 1 pack, and let's say another 5 SPS. We're going to start off with a Venari Heatsmith. I guess I shouldn't be asking for Venari Heatsmiths. And we haven't gotten a Gargoyle Lion. Okay, never mind. Let's just get 3 Gargoyle Lions here at the end. 0.49 SPS. Bloodmaker again. How many Bloodmakers are we going to get? And then 38 merits. Okay, no Gargoyle Lions. Worst season rewards of all time. No Gargoyle Lions. That's a make or break for me. Ugh. Butters got $50 across 3 accounts. Dang. I am sweating, dude. I am sweating. I also got a new light, which I haven't adjusted for the stream much. But yeah, it's still like 92 today, and I'm in my little studio with no AC. Brought to you by Jared Scar. So let me see if I can pull up if splintershare.info will have the reward. I'm gonna guess that wasn't too hot though. Maybe maybe $2 of rewards. 4. Okay, well that's accounting with all the potions. 70 potions, so probably whatever that is. Probably $2 of that is just in potions. 27 SPS. So not the biggest amount of SPS, but hey, I was hoping for more like 50. 27, not too bad. Get 1 epic, 1 legendary. It's not the worst pull I've ever had, but it's certainly not the greatest. So, oh well, hopefully your guys' rewards were good as well. We got a gift from the pockets though. Oh, a golden Venari Heatsmith. All right, let's get to our main topic for tonight though. Thank you, Pockets, for the gift. Much love. And it is the beautiful proposal that is coming out here hot to you guys. Lots of controversy. I've seen lots of different opinions, lots of different videos coming out. I've been mostly silent so far just because I haven't had the time to cover it. But also, now that I'm working for Balthazar and trying to cover so many NFT games, I don't feel as involved as I was with Splinterlands before. I'm still playing every day, but I don't feel like I have as big of a voice or as a knowledgeable a voice. So as I've thought about it today to do this live stream, just keep that in mind that what I'm saying might have some value to it, but you'll probably be better off also going to watch Bulldog, Steve, Ashley, Cryptmancer, you know, yeah, I mean, the list goes on and on. There's so many Splinterlands creators. Just, you know, watch them as well, okay? But I did want to talk about it because I think it's really interesting. I titled this the most important Splinterlands vote proposal, whatever I titled it. Not because this is like the game-changing thing ever. Like, not that the fact that this is like going to make or break the game of Splinterlands. The proposal, sure, it's important, but I think it's more so important because this is the first real proposal. They had the proposal last week, but it was literally like, hey, are you going to vote in these proposals? Okay, that wasn't a real proposal. This right here, guys, this is a moment in history. You're living out history. The first Splinterlands governance DAO proposal with SPS. We'll get to the pros and cons and benefits of it. But I just want to take a second, okay? I just want to take a second. And first, can we just appreciate that this is history in the making for gaming? As far as I know, I think maybe someone else said Upland has governance voting in place. I've never verified that or played Upland, so I don't care. But let's just say, even if Splinterlands isn't the first, maybe they're the third, second, fifth game. Like, they're probably at least the top 5 that literally has an SPS, or sorry, a literal crypto governance token that is being allowed to use to vote to make changes in a video game, okay? We as gamers have never ever had power ever to make decisions in a video game. Yeah, we could post mean comments on Twitter and YouTube towards the developers and the owners of the game. Okay, that's not going to do anything. But like, we actually have voting power, and we'll talk about, you know, everyone's been saying, okay, it's only the whales, it's only the whales. We don't actually get a chance because our SPS is meaningless. We'll get to that point in a minute. But even if the system isn't perfect, I just think we should take a second and say, like, this is pretty awesome. This is a historic moment for gaming. This is what Splinterlands set out to do, and that was to, hey, we want to be a decentralized game. Now, again, we can argue all day if this is a good system the way it should be, but it's here, and I think that's really cool. And, you know, this is the first proposal that Splinterlands is putting out that has real vote weight behind it. So I didn't expect the system to be perfect. I didn't expect everything to come out bada bing, bada boom. Governance is out, and it's amazing. No, like, there's going to be a learning curve for all of us. Again, this is the first time it's happening in a game. For gamers, developers, owners, you know, like, this is new for pretty much everyone. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't expect it to be perfect. I think we all need a little bit of patience with this system as well. Necromancer coming in with a golden gargoyle line, making my points even better. Thank you, Necromancer. Much love, much love, much love, baby. That's awesome. All right, let me move my stuff around here so I can actually read the chat and my notes. So, yeah, this is cool. I think it'll take some time to get used to. I think players will have to get used to. I think team will have to make some tweaks to it. I think one of the things that was kind of harsh about this proposal as it came out is I think maybe it caught people off guard. I kind of skipped through the town hall and listened to it. I didn't listen to the full thing. I don't know if they talked about it. I didn't hear them talk about it. So it just, maybe what they could do in the future is talk about something in the town hall, talk about it in the Discord. Maybe they did, maybe I just missed it. Give time for the community to give feedback first and then put out a proposal. Or, you know, I think I saw someone in the comments say, hey, like, can we have an option of like, there's yes, no, but what about like an option for like, yes, I agree with the premise, but like I want some reform, I want some amendments. And while I think that's a good idea, the problem also with that is that if there's always an option that says yes with amendments, nothing's ever going to get voted through. It's always going to be yes, but also amend it, because everyone's going to want to change things and you know, have their own opinions. So I don't know how they're going to do this moving forward, but I think sometime maybe to have the community feedback first, to make some tweaks and then a proposal. I don't know. I think it just caught some people off guard, because all of a sudden a lot of people are like, wait, there's a proposal, and this proposal is just making the top players richer. Is that what we're doing now? I think that's kind of just the jerk knee reaction before like anyone's really thought about it. So yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. Yeah, if it needs tweaks, you're right, Butters, you can just vote it down, but then does the proposal need to get reproposed? Is it dead? All those things are going to take time to figure it out. So before we really break down whether I voted yes or no on the proposal, you probably just saw I voted no. I'll talk about why here after, you know, we get to some other points. Basically, the whole thing is right now you probably all know, or most of you know, do we want the SPS reward pool all the same that we're pulling through, or do we want to split it out so that the higher players are making more, they're getting their own pool, and that pool is higher, where lower ranks like bronze have lower. And that idea of the proposal is we want to incentivize more and more players to move up, less and less bot farms to be around, and eventually everyone having the goal of, you know, pushing to that gold, diamond, champion level, rather than hanging out in bronze and silver with multiple accounts. So before I talk about the vote, though, I think it's just way more interesting to look at the numbers, because one of the things that I think is, because it's a historic thing, is I feel like there's this reaction in the community of like, man, governance is actually making me feel worse about the game. It's this concept of like, if my vote means so little with my SPS that I have, you know, a lot of players, like, I've been donated generous amounts by others. I would not have this much by myself. Maybe if it was my own assets, I would have maybe 1,000 SPS, right? At this point, community's been generous. So a lot of people are like, okay, if I only have 1,000 SPS, does it really matter? It doesn't really make a difference. So this whole voting system is kind of screwed up. It's just the rich people get to vote, and the rich people are always going to serve themselves, like in this vote. I think that's a lot of the comments I've been seeing, and I haven't seen all the good comments that are probably, you know, floating around in the Discord and stuff too. I've just been reading the comments on the actual vote here. I've been reading it on the YouTube, other YouTubers and stuff like that. And so I think that's kind of a lot of the comments that I've been seeing have saying something similar to those lines. And of course, usually people are pissed off are the ones that are going to be commenting on things. It's not usually people like, cool, sounds good to me. Those people usually don't react to a YouTube video or to the actual, you know, high blog post, things like that. Which I just saw Splinterlands. I didn't see this before. A number of players asked for more data, which is nice. Okay. That's one of the things in the proposal. I feel like it didn't have enough data to really understand what was going on. So the following table shows the number of unique accounts and total SPS earned by each league in battle format over the past week. So right now, there's 52,000 players in bronze with 1% of SPS, and wild earning 6.4% of SPS because there's 141,000. So a lot more bronze bots are still in wild, it looks like. Silver's a little more split, and the earning of SPS right there is 81%. So for modern, that's helpful. I think it's interesting, probably because the bots are a little more split out in modern, whereas wild, I think a lot of bots are still making the big money in bronze and silver and sharing a lot more rewards. They also are now re-emphasizing that if this change gets approved and implemented, it's not set in stone forever. So yeah, this is an alarming number, and I think it does need to get addressed, that a huge rewards are going to the silver players and bronze players, but that's where the majority of players are, or bot farms, whatever you want to say about it. But yeah, let's just talk about the SPS and the fact that we get to vote in this game. Okay, so one thing that I thought interesting, just kind of perusing, I think that's how you say it, right? I almost said pursuing. Perusing through the numbers here, I just did like some quick math, because everyone's been saying, oh, my SPS vote doesn't matter. And for most of us, yeah, your SPS isn't going to hold that much weight. But I just wanted to say it because I just wanted to look through these numbers because a lot of people are saying, oh, it's just the top people with the most SPS. They're going to vote for themselves to benefit themselves. So some interesting things. I just tracked through, okay, who are the people with a million SPS or more? That is like mega whale, right? Biggest vote here is literally the SPS whale. I don't know who that is, 6.2 million. And then there are 30 people with a million SPS. And if you calculate all of their SPS combined, it was 50 million SPS, okay? So the top 30 people that have voted, that we can see here, have 50 million SPS. Now, if you look at the SPS, the total amount of staked is 430 million. So their actual vote, right, that we're seeing there is actually only 11%, 11.6% of the total staked SPS. The problem is the amount of votes that have come in are only 118 million. So I don't know if that means there's some people that aren't voting. If we just need to wait in 5 days, will that go up closer to that 400 million? Because right now with these big, whales, because only 118 million have voted, that means they have about a 42% of the total vote. So if more people with SPS just start voting, then their total vote would be going down to that 11% rate. Although who knows, maybe more million SPS holders will be voting. I don't know. So after that, I just did a quick math. This is probably not an accurate number, but I went through and there was 195 people with in between that million under to above 100,000 SPS. And I didn't take the exact average, but I just kind of averaged, okay, if you look at the people who are closer to a million, there's less. If you look at the people that there's more towards that 200,000 to 100,000 range. So I just said, okay, there's 195 people in that range. Maybe on average, they have around 250,000 SPS total. Again, that comes out to 49 million. So close to what the top 30 people have. So that 195 people and that 30 people, they both have about a 12% of staked SPS, and they both have about a 42% of the total vote right now. So yeah, the majority of the vote right now, because the SPS votes haven't come through, or maybe people with staked SPS are just not going to vote. This means that these two groups alone have 84% of the total vote right now, roughly. Again, that's just quick math, okay? So yes and no. Yes, it's coordinated by a lot of whales, but there's 30 whales and there's 195 people right underneath them that can match their voting power. So that's not a massive widespread power, but it's more than, I just don't buy the argument completely of, oh, there's 10 whales who are deciding the whole thing. More like it's 225 people. Again, not the most widespread, but a decent size spread. Now, again, I understand I feel bad about my vote because my 1,000 SPS is probably a 0.00001% of the vote, right? It's not really going to matter. So I get that. And I think if you're a krill, that's what my channel was built on. I still consider myself maybe like an upgraded krill, maybe a minnow. If you're a krill or a minnow, if you're not in that top, over 100,000 SPS group, your vote's probably not going to matter that much. However, I think if we want to have influence, and this is my whole point of a DAO and this governance proposal, is I think we need to involve ourselves more into the community. We need to join YGG. YGG is going to have eventually their own SPS DAO vote, and maybe in YGG it's only 200 members discussing with each other, hey, what should we do with our bag of million SPS? I don't know how much SPS YGG has. I'm just spitting numbers out my butt, okay? So, maybe join YGG, or I don't know if, I can't speak for Balthazar scholarships. I'm not on the scholarship side of of our, organization, but maybe they do, or Nifty Arcade. Join a guild and interact with them, or interact with big bag holders. There's plenty of streamers out there that will have an opinion and will hear out people in their community, in their Telegram, in their Discord. Me, I only have 13,000, but, if you look up Seaver, he's got a 250,000 vote. He's been on this channel and many other channels many times. You can go talk to him and say, hey, here's what I'm thinking. Here's why you should change your mind. Or Nardian, or there's I saw Luthien on here earlier, wherever she went. There's people that you could probably have discussions with, and maybe your vote personally of your measly 1,000 SPS means nothing, but your opinion with a member of a $1 million bag or a $250,000 bag or a 250,000 SPS bag. Like if I have a conversation with Steve and I change his mind, that's a decent sized, meaningful vote. And maybe his voice now changes other people's as well. So yes, I get the bummer of, okay, yes, it's going to be the big bad holders that are going to make the decisions, not just in Splinterlands, but all crypto. All crypto is like this. You know, we talk about decentralization of power, but yeah, it's still going to be the people with the most money are going to be deciding things. And, you know, part of me feels bad about that, but part of me also is like, you know, what else do you do about that? You know, I use my example on Splinterlands TV of, you know, think about non-crypto business. Think about Nike. If I own 30% of Nike, and that's the majority of Nike, I own Nike, right? And you own, let's say, $100 of stocks, and I don't know what the price of stocks is for Nike, whatever. Maybe you own 0.0001% of Nike stocks. Should your vote count for just as me when all of my net value is in owning Nike? Should you, who doesn't really care because you only have $100 Nike, doesn't really matter to you if Nike blows up and goes to zero, but if it goes to zero for me, I lose, you know, $1 billion. I don't know, I'm just making crap up here. But, you know, like, I get it. I get both arguments of like, yeah, like, how is this any different than other parts of life where the rich control things? I don't know, it's not. But like, how do you create a system where people can, you know, invest heavily and know that they'll have a big voice as well? I don't know how you balance those two things. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard, right? So that's my thought there. It's like, yeah, not everyone's gonna have an equal vote, but I think the cool thing in crypto and in, you know, governance voting in these NFT games is that hopefully you can talk to others that will have a bigger impact, will have a bigger influence on this vote. And the other thing is, you know, people are saying, oh, the whales are just going to control the vote and pass it automatically. Okay, yes, the top, whatever that is, the top 12 people all voted yes. But there's some big bag holders. There's 1, 2, 3, you know, 4, 5 people up around 1 million or over 1 million. As you scroll down, there's a lot of people in the 1 million to 100,000 ratings with some negative downvotes. There's a lot of people, you know, in that 100,000 range with some negative votes. And then the crazy thing is people are saying it's all the whales. Well, if you look at people, even, let's see how far we can scroll down here. Look how many upvotes there are on people with under 20,000 SPS. Look how many upvotes there are with people with 10,000 SPS. You can't just say, oh, this is the big bag holders controlling everything. Yes, there's more negative votes as I'm scrolling down, maybe on average. But there's still probably a majority of thumbs up I'm seeing, even at this 2,000-3,000 SPS range. So even if it was just everyone got one single vote, as I just scroll through my eyeball test, I would still say this is a majority vote. Like maybe it's much closer. Maybe it's like a 60-40 as I scroll down. But I don't get the argument of this is just the whales pulling out their big bag of money and trying to reward themselves, because there's a lot of people with just a little bit of SPS that are voting yes on this. Okay, so that's one thing I think it's really interesting. I think you know, we need to have a bigger perspective of, oh, it's just my SPS is nothing, it doesn't mean anything. And it's not just the big huge whales voting yes. There's a lot of smaller krills and minnows like you and me that are voting yes. So now let's talk about the proposal. I voted no. I don't really care what you voted for. Again, like, more so I'm just interested in seeing how governance is working in a video game for the first time. Like, to me, if things change personally, I'm probably mostly concerned about newer players and their experience. That's something I've been harping on. That's something that a lot of people have been harping on. So this isn't necessarily a bad change, but I think I would rather see other changes first maybe. But let's talk about some things, okay? So, this is the hard part for Splinterlands, and I don't know what to do about it. This is not me talking about, hey, I have Splinterlands figured out, just listen to me. Splinterlands team, just listen to me. This is like, oh, crap. Splinterlands, you have a tough task. I'm thankful I'm not on the team. I'm thankful I don't have to figure this out, because I don't even know how you figure this out. So, let's just talk about this for a second, and then I'll gather your thoughts here as well. The hard part for Splinterlands is most people hate the giant bot farms. Okay, most people would not be a fan of the giant bot farms for many reasons. They bring down battles sometimes in players' mind. They're like, oh, I'd rather face a human. They think that a lot of players are receiving rewards from bot farms rather than actually going to, humans who are playing the game. I don't know where Tales of the Cryptmancer got this information. You can go to YouTube and probably watch one of his latest videos. I just saw him post this in Discord, a little snippet that said, here, I'll pull it up on screen actually. Top 500 farms have been awarded, whatever that is. Is that, I can't read the decimal placement here. 1.1 million out of the last 1.7 million here. Is that what it's saying? Yeah, 1.7 million since July 2nd of 2022. So I don't know where you got that stat. I don't know if that's true. But I think a lot of people would agree that giant bot farms are a big problem. Now, the hard part for Splinterlands is, one, they don't want to ban bots. Their philosophy is we want to be a decentralized game. To us, that means anyone can play any way we want. We're not going to ban bots. We're just going to try to change the economy that bots won't want to be these giant bot farms. Maybe they bot, but they're on like a couple of accounts up in Diamond or Champion, okay? That's their philosophy. Now, if you don't agree with that philosophy, I've said many times, you should probably find a different NFT game because they're not changing that philosophy. That is straight from the CEO. That's straight from Matt, Aggroed. The whole team believes in that. That's what they mean by decentralization. At least that's a part of decentralization. And they constantly say, even if we could ban bots, even if we decided to ban bots, how would we do that? There's probably some obvious ones that you could ban, but then, bots are just going to get trickier and trickier and smarter and look more like humans if they're incentivized with a ban, right? So that's the problem, is that you really don't have a game that is easy to stop bots from playing. This game is just, it's so bottable compared to, a turn-based card game like Gods Unchained or Skyweaver. I'm sure you could create a bot for that, but creating a bot for Splinterlands, just the way the game works, is so much easier. So the problem is, if you're not going to ban bots, people don't like the giant bot farms. But if you're not going to ban bots, you have to make it hard time for them to earn, or you have to incentivize them to combine their cards to play in higher leagues. Now, the problem with both of these scenarios, right? So one, you got incentivizing them to go to the higher leagues. When they do that, everyone sees it and everyone complains, says, oh, you're just feeding the rich. Okay. Oh my goodness. Champion, Diamond are getting, like what? Over 50% of the total SPS rewards? People see that. It's like, oh, you're just feeding the rich. And I get that perspective. It does look like that, right? The problem is, okay, to correctly incentivize people to move up and combine their cards, you have to make it worth it. And I'm not saying this is the correct solution, but okay, for instance, I have, again, to the generous community of you guys, about $3,000 of cards, and I don't play with all of them. Sometimes I rent them out. But even with $3,000 of cards, I'm like hanging around in gold, barely making it to the top of, the gold rating at the end of the season. And roughly, if I look back at my Splinterlands info, I'm making about $30 a month if you include potion value, okay? So that's 1%. Let's just, for easy math, that's 1%. I put in $3,000. I'm getting back 1% a month in value. Now, let's look at, I think I pulled up earlier. It was Spirits for You. I just pulled a random player off the champion leaderboard. Let's look at their card collection. And of course, this is just quick math. It's not like, total super accurate here. I don't know how many cards they're playing to actually play up in champion versus how many they're renting out, yada, yada. This is just for an example, okay? Their total filter valuable to get to the top of champion leaderboard, $250,000 in card. $250,000. If you take that at 1% a month to match my gold ROI, you're paying this player $2,500 a month to match me at gold. That would be the only incentive that would make sense for someone to move up. And really, that wouldn't even make sense because that's a way riskier investment. So not only would it need to match my ROI here I'm getting in gold, it would probably need to increase for that incentive to make sense. So this $250,000 player, for other people to go and say, oh, I'm going to put that much money in the game, the ROI probably needs to be, let's say, 2% instead of 1%. I don't know. So now this guy's making 5K a month, and everyone's looking at them like, oh my goodness, these proposals are ridiculous. You're just feeding that player $5 grand a month. How dare you? That's stupid. But how else do you incentivize players to put more money in the game? I mean, most people realistically aren't ever going to go for Diamond Champion. It's just out of reach. It's just out of reach. But that's my example, right? So that's the problem with incentivizing bots to get out of here or combine their cards and players to push Diamond Champion. If you really want to incentivize players, it's so hard because combining cards, the problem in this game is combining cards is exponential, right? To go from bronze level 1 to bronze level max, you're talking about 14 cards. I just reached 10,000 steps. Apparently I'm talking too vigorously here. Too much hand motion, sorry. Then to go to a silver cap level max, what is it, 5 or is it 6? I think it's 5. It doesn't matter. Either way, my point is here, right? 14 to 60 cards. Then to go to, I think it's to 100. Then to go from max silver to max gold is another 120. And then to go from a max gold to a champion is only 2 more levels, but it's twice the amount of cards. So you're exponentially increasing the amount of card cost to get to Diamond Champion, but the rewards aren't exponential. So I don't know how you fix that. How do you fix the incentive without everyone saying, oh my goodness, you're just feeding the rich? The only way to incentivize people moving up is to feed the rich. I'm sorry. I don't know. How else do you get around that? I don't know. So that's problem 1. And then problem 2 is, okay, we just nerf the rewards for bots. Well, guess what? Pretty much all of those bot farms act as similar to a newer player. What do bot farms do? They usually hang out in bronze or silver. A lot of them do. What do bot farms do? They usually don't buy cards. They usually just rent cards and then keep feeding it back into the system. What does a new player want to do? They want to test out the game. They want to see what it's like in bronze and silver, because to even get to gold, as I just pointed out, is $3 grand. No one's going to put in $3 grand to a video game they've never played before, right? They're not going to do that. So they got to play in bronze and silver to test out the game. So maybe they buy, $50 worth of cards and then they rent some other cards. They're still going to be in bronze or silver for the most experience. Even if you can tell them, hey, go rent to gold, diamond, champion. That's where the real rewards are. They're not going to know how to play at those levels. I didn't know how to play, this game. It took me, 2 months to figure this sucker out. This is a complex game, and it's getting more and more complex every time they add new cards and abilities and such, right? So every time you nerf a bot economy, you're also nerfing the new player because you can't ban bots. They're inherently linked together. So I don't know. Based on those two things, I just don't know how you fix this problem. I'm not saying like, hey, the team sucks. I'm just saying like, I don't know how to do it. I don't know what they're thinking to do about it. Is this proposal the right way? Maybe it's a way, but again, it goes back to the perception of, hey, we're feeding the rich and all these new players are sucking. And, I've seen a lot of these comments that are just basically like, hey, we are definitely pissed off. And that's what I'm worried about, is that we're just pissing off newer players over and over with these changes. So it's not necessarily I voted no because this change is inherently bad. I agree with some of the ideas and principles behind it. Maybe the numbers could be tweaked a little bit. But I think the problem is we're making all these changes pretty fast that seem like it's just pissing off newer players or lower league players over and over and over again, to the point where I've seen a lot of comments in streams, in Discord, on YouTube that are just like, I'm out of this game. And that's more so what concerns me. It's not necessarily the rich are getting richer. I get that argument. I get the argument that the ROI should be higher in Diamond and Champion. It's just not realistic to expect people to ever get there. Like putting even $3 grand into a game to get to gold and playing gold, unless you're gonna rent a bunch. It's just, for the vast majority of people, not even me, I would not have $3,000 into this game in cards if it wasn't for the community generously donating in streams and such. Like, I just wouldn't. Personally, I would probably have, maybe at this point over a year, $500 in cards. Maybe I'm putting, $50 a month or whatever. So that's the hard part. I've heard other people argue like, hey, if the truly the incentives are there in the higher leagues in Diamond, Champion, Gold, then, you know, it'll be a good incentive, even if you can't put money into the game, maybe to rent cards to move up. Maybe that is a good argument, but again, it's going to have to be people that already know how to play in bronze and silver, have a good grasp on the game so they can rent the right cards to know how to move up into those higher leagues. So I'm going to be patient. I'm not too concerned with the proposal. I think the team will figure it out. I think the community will figure it out over time. But I just want to see them, like, my one piece of feedback for the team is, like, as I talked about in the beginning of the video, I want to be clear here in case someone just skipped through the beginning. I'm really happy with proposal. I think it's really exciting to see this come together and see this be live and see how this is all going. I really appreciate the team's changes over the last 3 months. I think they've been doing a lot of things that are awesome. I just wish they would talk a little bit more of like, hey, we know the new player experience is bad. Here's how we are thinking about fixing it, but we're just, you know, waiting for these things. Like, just give us a little more about, here's what our plan is moving forward. We're taking care of these stuff first, you know, the economy changes, and then we're going to really hone in on the new player experience, and we're going to do it first by this, this, and this. Like, if you could just even, like, throw that on the roadmap, like, put it on the roadmap that it says new player experience improvements. I don't know. Like, I don't know how to do that, but it's just tough, guys. It's just tough. I don't know how to do it. So that's kind of where I'm at. I appreciate the team. I just wish they would talk more about that. I'm not totally against this. I'm just worried more about the new player experience, the krills, the minnows, the perception of the community right now. Maybe it's just a little too quick, too fast. I mean, these numbers are definitely concerning, and I think they should be addressed. I don't know. I would also like to see not just percentage of where the SPS is going, but I'd like to see, like, okay, yes, the percentage of SPS, 0.2%, is going to champion. Actually, we can look at this. Let's just do it now. 900,000 SPS per season, right? So if they're making 900,000 SPS per season, and in wild format, they have, what is that, 11.2%. So between 823 champ players currently in wild, 122 SPS per person, is that right? Seems low. So yeah, I mean, I guess there is a problem. I don't know how you fix that and help new players in those lower leagues. I think the other thing that's really, I think, put a bad taste in newer players in the lower leagues is the SPS being auto staked and not being able to use that for rentals. So that's kind of my thoughts here. I'll kind of end by just kind of going over the chat here, but I'm going to end the stream because I'm sweating like crazy if you guys didn't notice. So let's see. Anything else you guys want to say? 66% vote as well needed to pass. I don't know. Is that true? Krill armor, we have power, baby. Let's all combine our 2,000 SPS together. We can have a 100,000 bag if we just get 50 people. Let's see. Even though these changes, Splinterlands is relatively cheap and you can start getting decent ROI and growth right at the start. Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting. Like, it'd be interesting to see when this change goes through. I'm assuming this is going to go through because it's already such a high vote. I want to see how much does this change the numbers. Based on some of the data that I've seen people put out, like gold won't change that much, diamond and champion will go up, and then bronze and silver will go down. But how much will they go down? Like, is it like, oh, in silver, instead of earning 0.2 SPS, you're now earning 0.15? Or is it like, now I'm earning 0.005? And what I want to do, actually, I think I'm going to start renting out all my cards for this season, because I want to start my other newer account, or sorry, one of my old accounts that I haven't played in forever, and do it as a new player experience, because everyone keeps talking about the newer player experience, and I haven't tested it out since traveling before Europe. I haven't played my alt account at all, so I think I'm going to try to help out newer players, see how the experience is, and maybe give more concrete feedback to the team and to the community. We'll see. We don't like aggro's view and botting in general. He doesn't seem to mind. I mean, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, if you don't agree with that, then this game is probably not for you, because, like, that is the CEO. That is how the whole team has talked about it, and they all agree. So, you know, I think if you don't like it, then you should probably find a different NFT game. But there's pros and cons to bots and stuff, and maybe over time they will figure out how to help new players and help bots, move up or combine and be less bots. I don't know. I'm still playing Splinterlands. I still appreciate what they've accomplished in this space. I still enjoy the game, so I'm going to play it regardless. But if that really pisses you off that they have bots, they're always going to have bots at some level. So they've said that. So, just the OG whales probably only invest 2 to 5% of the current account value. Yeah, for sure. If you got in before like July of last year, you probably did really well. Asset ownership makes it different. I'm 5 to 6K in as a pizza delivery guy. Well, that's impressive. Like, yeah. Okay. I mean, I respect that for sure. Buy cheap car, rent, repeat, play with profit. I mean, that's a good perspective. Thank you for sharing that, DJ. Trying to onboard master guilds that buy 6 and 7 figures worth of cards instead of one player at a time. Yeah, I mean, that's one way to solve it, but then you're just, I don't know, then you're going back to just purely scholarship model. I don't know. Battle Pass that gives the same rewards to all players will be very cool. Something to equalize all accounts and sets up a base earning like $20 that gives everyone $30 in values. Yeah, I don't know how they could do that correctly, but a Battle Pass would be cool. I mean, Battle Passes are so popular in games. I think just every game should have a Battle Pass, to be honest. And it doesn't have to be like SPS or DEC. It could be just like, here's some like cool skins, or here's some, one-of-a-kind collectibles that if you're here in Season 1 of Splinterlands, you now have this rare NFT, and you create value to players just by rarity, rather than it having to be, I spent $5,000 and now I'm starting to see, $50 a month. It could be, I played for $10 a month with this Battle Pass, and, yes, I'm not earning crypto with this Battle Pass, but, I earned this rare collectible that's worth, $100 later on. Like, those stuffs are fun. Those stuffs are cool. I like that. Why did your chat have no super stickers? I thought it did. I don't know. Because I'm lame. I don't know. I think I turned super chatting off because I was doing just I had crypto and fiat donations in a different link. I think it's probably still in the description. But I think I turned super chatting off. I don't know. I also think the Ghost Card Tournament could be a good way to utilize the new player experience to make it better. My vote would be just have a Ghost Card Tournament that's open for the entire month. You play like 5 matches a day. Everyone gets a taste of the Ghost Card Tournament. And then you just reward players once a month at the end of that like mega Ghost Card Tournament. Something like that where you could play every day, get a taste for the game. And then, hey, like, I'm playing in gold in these Ghost Card Tournaments. Maybe I should now that I understand gold, go rent those cards or buy those cards so I can start playing gold in the normal mode and earn every battle. Something like that, I think 2-hour tutorial that goes in deep and rewards in a soul bound summer, then it would be a good start. Yeah, they could definitely put out more tutorials. I used to. I wish I could, but I just don't have the time to do it anymore. Alright, well, that's going to be it for me today. I do got to get going. I do got to stop sweating and go take a shower or something and get ready for bed and such. I'm just looking disgusting. Thank you for chatting, though, whether you're here live or here afterwards. Let me know what you think about the proposal. Drop it in the comments. It's an interesting thing. I hope I didn't feel too negative at the end. I wasn't trying to commute negativity, more so just the complex part of this problem that we're seeing in Splinterlands. And again, more so my opinion is I just don't know how to solve it. So if you're smarter than me, drop in the comments below. Tell us how to solve it. And I'm going to try out the new player experience here soon this week and tell you guys what I think. And then, yeah, besides all those like critiques, I'm just happy that governance proposal is here. I think it's super interesting to watch. I think it's fascinating. I don't even care. Splinterlands can die in 2 years from now. And this is a historic moment where I can point back to and be like, hey, Splinterlands was one of those first games where I actually had a chance to vote and change things in the game. And I was there in history when now, and 5 years later, all these games are doing the same thing and copying Splinterlands. And I just think that's cool. So I do applaud the team for that. Thank you, team, for doing that and putting that together. I know that's probably a lot of hard work as well. So some critiques, but also just a lot of love to the team, a lot of love to the community. We'll see how it goes. Interested to hear you guys' thoughts for now. Peace out, everybody. Adios, salamat, gracias, thank you, gracias, merci for watching.